Welcome back. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Bethany, and this is Standing BTS.
And holy shit, you guys, we reached 100 reviews on iTunes.
Woo!
Oh
it
my
finally
gosh.
came.
It feels so surreal. For real.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. We feel super undeserving. Keep those reviews coming because I feel like the next time we hit a big milestone on reviews, we'll do another special episode. Maybe you guys can vote on what episode we do.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll make it fun.
Yeah, but thank you so much. We owe it all to BTS for making this podcast everything that it is.
Absolutely.
BTS allows us to talk forever about so many different things, their success, their impact on the world, their talent, their fashion, their visuals. It's endless.
It is endless. So thank you to all of you guys for listening, and definitely a big thanks for BTS for being so amazing.
Yes.
So I feel like we should read the 100th review.
Yes, let's do it.
Yes. So this is from S_Cooks. So what she said, it's titled, A Fellow Fangirl. I relate to these two girls so much in age, bias Rutgers, even area of the U.S. It's great to hear people my age stand such a talented group. As an I-Army, I spend a lot of time reading subtitles, but getting to hear others just talk about BTS is the highlight to my mornings.
Aww.
I love that they admit that they are still learning more and more about the group too. I would suggest they check out Army Amino and can learn even more. And then she said, hashtag 100th review and time for Taekook episode. I just love that she said all of that because that's everything we want out of this podcast. We just want people to have someone to relate to.
Yeah, and we are still learning. I think that's what's great about doing this is every single week we get to learn something new about BTS. Even if we already felt like we knew something about the topic that we're talking about, we inevitably learn a ton of new shit. So
yeah. We're not going to even act like we know everything about BTS because we don't at all.
I would spend more time on Amino, but it honestly overwhelms me. I only go there.
I don't know how to work it. It's there's so many things popping up and flashing at me.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
But it is really helpful.
It's super helpful if you're looking for specific information. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into this episode. So how today's episode is going to work. It's going to be very similar to other ship episodes, but there's kind of a slight change. So it's mostly going to be me telling all of you about Taekook, just because Taekook is my life, pretty much.
Yeah, it's her OTP.
So this episode is going to be broken up into 5 different sections. So I start off with Taekook facts, romantic moments, jealous moments, friendship moments, and then recent moments.
So it's going to be awesome. We're going to go really deep into Taekook. Like Bethany said, it's going to be mostly her. And disclaimer, like I just said, it is her OTP, which means her one true pairing. So it's gonna get intensely fangirling. So we need to let you guys know that this is a ships episode. We all know, we've said this in our other ship episodes.
Y'all know what's up.
You know what's up. Okay, no ship is confirmed. No ship is really real, as much as we don't want to say it for some of them. So, this is no reason to get up in arms about anything. Let's just have fun.
We just love ships. Ships are really fun.
Super fucking fun.
Yeah. So I do ship this ship romantically. Taekook, yes. I think they're real. So there's definitely going to be more discussion into the romantic moments, but of course I'll definitely talk about their friendship as well. There's no denying that Taehyung and Jungkook are very close friends.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I did a lot of research for this ship, so I wanted to deliver you all with some of the best, most iconic Taekook moments. However, there is an abundance of Taekook moments, and I just simply cannot compile them all into 1 hour. But I'm going to try to do my best. So I just apologize in advance if there's a Taekook moment that you really love that wasn't mentioned. So go ahead and feel free to DM us or email us and just share any moments that I didn't talk about that maybe you personally love.
Yeah.
Lastly, before I get into it, I want to give a shout out to a couple YouTubers. So there's Lisa Sun and Night Angel Swati. And they have some of my favorite Taekook analysis videos. And they also have Taekook evolution videos that make me cry. They're they're worth checking out if you're really into Taekook. I just want to mention them because really they've given me a lot of information and I just like to watch them. Like all their compilations are so great. Okay, so let's get started because I have 12 pages of notes. So these are just some Taekook facts. So since there are so many Taekook moments, this is just a little collection of Taekook moments that I've condensed into a couple bullet points. And I consider these to be like factual things about Taekook.
Like you feel like you can prove these things.
Yeah, for sure. First things first, Taehyung simply cannot not touch Jungkook. It's like physically impossible for him, and I don't think that there's ever been a run episode or any BTS footage for that matter where Taehyung doesn't touch Jungkook at least once. He's always rubbing his neck, he's tickling his chin, playing with his ears, hand feeding him, touching his shoulders, wrapping his arms around his neck, messing with his hair, leaning on him, clinging to his back. It's endless. Like, truthfully, it's endless. I'm like 99% positive that V is probably touching Jungkook as we speak. Or he's contemplating touching him. Like, you can see V just like looking at Jungkook, just thinking about whether or not he should touch him.
How can I get away with touching Jungkook right now?
Yeah. Pretty much. So another Taekook fact is Taekook synchronization.
Oh my god.
I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but I full on believe this. So Taekook synchronization, simply, it's a term that describes how Taehyung and Jungkook will either do the exact same action in complete synchronization, or it's like one does an action and then the other will mirror it within seconds of the other. Yeah, there's like countless incidents of this happening. It's almost creepy.
Sounds creepy.
It is creepy. Like sometimes they'll be across the room from each other and then they'll do the exact same thing at the exact same time. Like they're not even looking at each other.
That's so strange.
Yeah, so Taekook synchronization. If you aren't sure what it is, there are 2 YouTube videos that you can check out. Both of them compile all these Taekook synchronization moments. So the first one is called Taekook Will Scare You by my Vkook, and the other one is Taekook Vkook being the epitome of Control C and Control V by Night Angel Swati.
Oh my god, I love that title.
Isn't that a funny title?
Yes.
But yeah, so there's that. And then there's another Taekook fact that I found where they both have matching elephants on their bodies. So Taehyung has this thing where he pinches the skin between 2 of his freckles on his right arm, and it looks similar to an elephant. So the 2 freckles are kind of like the eyes of the elephant, and then the skin that he pinches in between them looks like the trunk of the elephant. And so, of course... Bless you.
Thank you.
So, of course, Tae found 2 freckles on Jungkook's right leg, like his right upper thigh, like middle thigh area.
First of all, before you even go any further, I feel like you have to be searching to find 2 freckles on a thigh.
Oh, yeah. He was looking for it. He was totally looking for it. Forget matching tattoos. We have matching elephants. So anyways, so Jungkook has one on his right leg. So we see that happen. Another Taekook fact is that they both bond over video games. They both love playing video games, and I think that's one of the ways they became such good friends. And then another Taekook fact is that they enjoy singing karaoke together, and sometimes they have occasional butt touching while doing it. And then another fact is that they have the most kick-ass handshake that ever existed. It's an iconic handshake.
Oh, for sure.
And then lastly, what I want to say is that they're best friends. I know that everyone in BTS are best friends with one another, but especially when BTS started, when they debuted, and kind of like right at the beginning of those like no danger era kind of stuff, school love affair, like Taekook was really, really close. I still think they're really close, but they just really have this special friendship.
Yeah, which you could tell that it was like different than like the friendship between themselves and other members.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into romantic moments.
Ooh, okay, this is the best part of a ship episode.
This is the best part of the episode. Let's be real. Okay. So the first one I'm going to mention is the Bantan Bomb 140304, and this is titled Jungkook Went to High School with BTS. So in this Bonton Bomb, all the BTS members went with Jungkook for his entrance ceremony into high school.
Aww.
So at the end of the video, V and Jungkook are waiting to get into the van together to go to a restaurant. But Jungkook is kind of like answering a few questions for the cameraman before they leave. So while Jungkook is answering these questions, Taehyung just playfully comes over and wraps his arm around Jungkook's neck. And then he like playfully walks him side to side, just kind of like pushing and pulling on him while like Jungkook is trying to answer these questions. And of course he's just smiling and enjoying himself while this is happening. But then after V playfully pushes him around, he then like nuzzles his head against Jungkook's.
Oh my god.
It's such an iconic moment. Like if you don't know this, like it's just so sweet.
Yes.
So sweet.
I know what you're talking about. I love that clip. When Taehyung does that, it's like he smiles really big at Jungkook, and then just with his boxy smile still on his face, he just nuzzles his forehead into like the side of Jungkook's head. Oh, it's the cutest thing.
Yes, it's so cute. And Jungkook is just like grinning ear to ear.
Oh my God,
like he looks
beaming.
so happy. Oh, beaming. Yes, it's so adorable. But again, like, is this like romantic? Is this like boyfriends or like brotherly love? I kind of sometimes get like more of a brotherly love from it, but I don't know.
But here it is underneath the romantic moments for you, so.
Well, I think it is kind of romantic. I don't know. The way V looks at him.
There's definitely love in his eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So kind of feeding off of that, the next moment is from another Bonton Bomb. And it's titled, Jungkook Went to High School with BTS for Graduation. So this is past the entrance ceremony. He's a little bit older. V's a little bit older. We're at graduation now. So all the members, of course, go to Jungkook's graduation. They all, I guess, got him flowers. But, of course, Tae is the one who holds on to them. And he's the one who, like, wants to give the flowers to him. It's so cute.
Aww.
So again, they all take a couple of cars over to the same restaurant that they went to for the entrance ceremony.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And Jungkook pays. He pays.
Aww.
Yeah, I forgot what the name of the food is that they get. Like, it's a certain type of dish that I guess Jungkook really likes. But his dad actually paid for the meal for the entrance ceremony, and then Jungkook paid for the graduation meal, which I think is cute.
Yeah.
Like, he's grown up.
Jungkook.
What a man. So they all take a couple cars over to that same restaurant. So in the Bonton Bomb, we see that the Maknae line gets in the car together. So Jungkook and Jimin are sitting in the 2 passenger seats, and Tae is sitting directly behind Jungkook. So once they're all in the car, our main Taekook supporter and exposer, Park Jimin,
Park motherfucking Jimin,
decides to take a video on his phone.
Of course he did.
We're so grateful.
He is such an exposer.
Oh, he is. He's a little shit. Like, I think he can be a little poster.
I love him so much.
I think he likes a little drama.
I think he just loves to spill all the tea.
Yeah. Imagine Park Jimin drunk.
Oh my god.
Like, he collects all of BTS secrets and then just slips them here.
Stores them in his phone.
Okay.
He's always taking fucking pictures and videos.
Oh, always.
Okay, but back, what is this video clip, Bethany? Please tell us.
So, we think that this video was tweeted. We aren't able to find, like, the original link purely because it was so far back in their tweets.
Okay.
But I'm thinking he tweeted it. But there is a good YouTube video that will be posted in the description. Actually, all of these, just heads up, all of these moments, I will put all of the links in the description so you guys can find all of the original sources. I did some work.
You're trying to convert everyone.
I'm converting everyone. They're real. Okay, anyways, this video, it needs some unpacking because you need to at least watch it 4 times to fully understand what happens in it. I had to show Kayla this a couple times because it was like, what exactly is happening in it?
Yeah, it's very subtle.
Yeah. So Jimin has the camera set to forward facing so that all you can see is his face. But if you look and listen closely, some serious shit happens while he's like got it forward facing on himself. So first off, Jimin has the camera focused on just his face, but he like keeps looking over at Jungkook. Like, he's not looking at the camera. He's not looking at ARMY. He's looking over at Jungkook.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sketchy, and it seems like Jimin is just waiting for a proper time to turn the camera to Jungkook. Jimin clearly isn't showing Jungkook because he's either doing something or someone is doing something to him. Wink, wink.
Well, he's not just like staring blankly, like he's smiling.
Oh yeah,
like
he smiles.
He's glancing over at Jungkook and then kind of like glancing back at the camera, but most of his focus is over on that, whatever's happening on that side of the car, and he's like smiling.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's back up. Before Jimin turns the camera to Jungkook, if you turn up the video's volume, this is a must. You must turn up the volume.
Mm-hmm.
You can clearly hear a noise that closely resembles the sound of a smooch.
Like a little kiss.
Yes, like a kiss. And not only do you hear the smooch, but you see Jimin react to the smooch. So right after you hear this like wet kissing noise, this huge smile spreads across Jimin's face. And then right after he smiles and you hear this smooch, Jimin says, "Congratulations."
Mm-hmm.
He waits a little bit, and then he finally turns the camera to show Jungkook, which Jungkook is wearing this super cute, giddy face, and he's, like, cutely clapping in response to Jimin's congratulations. Like, he just looks, like, in pure euphoria.
I will say, this is one of the main moments that made me believe in Taekook, because I rewatched this video so many times and, like, listened to it with my eyes closed, like, with the idea of it of the sound, like the smooching noise, like of trying to think of something else that it could be. So I thought, maybe it could be like the seatbelt clicking into the seatbelt holder or whatever. But no, it can't be. Like you said, it's like a wet noise. Like there's really nothing else that it could be. And the fact that Jimin reacted like the way he did right after, it just, to me, like I was like, there's nothing else that it could have been.
Yeah, like this is the only logical reasoning for what is happening.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Like it just I know it's really skeptical and it's kind of a theory and there's no real truth to it, but listen to it. Like just go and listen to it. But okay.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're not convinced, let's back up one more time and watch the video again.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the lighting on Jimin's face, you can see the light starts off dim and it's giving off this like bluish hue.
Yeah.
And then after you hear the smooching noise, the light that is on Jimin's face just completely brightens.
Yeah.
So, meaning before and during the smooch, something was blocking that light from reaching Jimin's face. So, I think it's like the car light, like above.
Yeah, like the ceiling light.
Yeah, the ceiling light in a van. Like, they all have them.
Right.
But so
they're there.
Yeah, something is blocking it. And it ends up being removed. And so then you can see this light brighten on Jimin's face.
So you're like, what is blocking the light?
What is blocking the light? So many armies and I believe that the source of the smooch and the light blocking is none other than Kim Taehyung.
Well, it would make sense that it's the only other fucking person in the car.
Exactly, except the driver. But like...
He's not in the back seat.
He's not in the back seat. So there you go. There's no other way to explain this video.
So to recap the premise of this video, Jimin is filming his face. There is light blocking his face, so like he has kind of a dim tone on his face, and we hear a smooching noise. We see that something that was blocking the light has moved, because also there's like a filter on this video, but you can still tell that his face like warms up, like the lighting on his face. It definitely warms up. It's like somebody turned up the saturation mid-video, and it's just because the light is suddenly touching his face. He turns the camera to Jungkook. We see Taehyung kind of like a blur moving backwards as if he's sitting back in the back seat. Like
you can see him there.
Yeah, like he just sat down, and then giddy Jungkook.
Yes. And we know that Taehyung is in that car because of the Bonton bomb. Like they're clearly in the car. Yeah. Romantic moment to the max.
For real. I think that was a Taekook kiss, and
I really think, like, there's no other way to explain it.
No,
and it
there
would make
isn't.
so much sense that he would kiss him congratulations. Like, he just graduated high school.
Yeah. It's just the idea of it is so sweet. Really, I think what sells it is that sound. There is, like, nothing else that you could say that sound is. Totally Taekook kiss.
So, moving on, if you aren't convinced with that kiss, let's go ahead and talk about a kiss that was very out in the open and that there's no denying that it happened.
It's on fucking camera.
It's on camera. So, this is the first BTS birthday, so it's BTS Festa 2014. So in this video, it's like over an hour long. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, this is one of the biggest pieces of evidence that Taekook is real. So Taehyung and Jungkook are sitting next to each other around this table with all the other members, and they're answering questions and playing games and having fun. So Taehyung, of course, is being super touchy, and, like, Jungkook actually squeezes Tae's thigh at one point. Like, these boys are just touching each other. Mm-hmm. And also, Taehyung looks like he just, like, can't control himself. Like, he looks turned on the whole time. He can't stop touching Jungkook. Like, he looks like he's got problems. Like, he needs to control himself. But the biggest part of the whole thing happens at 57 minutes and 12 seconds. So Jin is asking Jungkook questions, and Jungkook is propped up leaning into the table to, like, answer the questions. And Tae is actually leaning back in his chair. But then he randomly gets this urge to lean in, like, all the way forward and kisses Jungkook on his ear.
Yeah.
Like, he kisses him on camera. No games, no nothing. Like, he wasn't dared to do this. He just kisses him.
Yeah, I remember this clip.
Yeah, like, it's habitual.
He just does it out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's like he slipped up.
Yeah. Like, he forgot that he wasn't allowed to do it on camera or something. It's like, it's kind of like on his temple ear region, I feel like like very sweet. And I wonder, you know, Korean culture is so different from, like, American culture, and I wonder if, like, friends can be physically close enough that that's not a taboo thing to do in Korean culture, or if that really is, like, one step too far.
Well, I mean, maybe it is, but my whole reasoning is, have we ever seen any of the other members kiss the other one without it being, like, a dare?
No. In fact, we've seen other members react like they're disgusted if Jin tries to kiss J-Hope or something.
Okay, well, didn't Jin or RM have to kiss the other one on the cheek? Like, I think Jin had to kiss RM on the cheek. He just had to kiss him on the cheek. Like, that's not even that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But he, like, flipped out when he did it. And it was just, like, painful for him to do this.
But Taehyung did it to Jungkook in the middle, or not even in the middle, in the last 2.5 fucking minutes of Festa, and nobody bats an eye. Like, it was just
like
normal.
He couldn't, like, hold back any longer.
It's been an hour. I need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is Jungkook doesn't react at all. Like, he's used to it himself.
Yeah. Okay. Boyfriends. Okay.
Boyfriends. So that's totally a romantic moment. I mean, he just straight up kisses him.
Yeah.
So another moment is from the Smart Family event. This one's kind of confusing. You have to watch the video to really kind of see what's happening. Mm-hmm. So I don't really know what's going on. But to any third party, I think it's safe to say that they're flirting, like, hard.
Okay.
It's not an innocent flirting. It's very suggestive flirting. The way, the faces that they're making at each other is very suggestive. Mm-hmm. It just looks like they've got plans made for after the event, and in my mind, with how they're looking at each other.
They're horny.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So for this event, all the members are outside, and they're standing in a line, and they're all wearing, like, matching boy uniforms, like schoolboy uniforms. So all the members are pretty much evenly spaced out, but Taekook is pretty much on top of one another. And throughout most of the event, V and JK are brushing each other's shoulders, just kind of making any sort of physical contact with one another. And I think they're, like, trying to be discreet, but I don't know if it's that discreet because it's, like, you can see it happening. So there's this one particular shoulder touch where Tae just lets it linger for a little bit. And Tae is kind of like looking down, but he just has such a serious blank face on, and he just looks so turned on. Just so turned on.
Like, you can tell where his mind is, kind of.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how else to describe his face. And, like, part of me is like, maybe this is fan service because it was such a public setting that they were doing this. But the way that Tae's face looks, like, it doesn't look like acting. Like, it looks so real. So when Tae does this lingering touch, Jungkook looks down at, like, Tae's crotch or, like, stomach. I don't know. But he's, like, looking down kind of on Tae's body. And then he looks up at Tae and looks him right in the eye, and he can see that V just has this very sexual face on. And then this smile, this kind of like, I don't know, this playful, kind of mischievous smile crosses Jungkook's face.
Oh my God.
But he just looks like the happiest, most content boy in this world. Like, they are just so sexual with one another. Like, some serious sexual tension.
And, like, in love.
Yeah. Like, you gotta look at this video. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. You know how many times I'll, like, catch my husband looking at me just like you described Taehyung, kind of, like, looking at Jungkook or messing with that, and I'll catch him and I'll look at him and smile like that, like Jungkook smiled. Like, that sounds like some super sexual tension, but also just, like, love, you know?
Yeah. I really think, like, even if they're not romantically in love, like, these boys have such a bond. They have to love each other.
I mean, all 7 of them totally love each other. How could they not?
Yes, of course. Okay, so another romantic moment, and this is just something I wanted to put in because this is one of my favorite Jungkook whipped moments. So this is from the Run music video. It's behind the scenes. And it's the scene where Taehyung is filming. He has to film underwater.
Oh, yeah.
So Tae comes up from the water. He's all wet. And he grabs onto, like, the pool, the side of the pool, and he's just panting. Like, he's completely out of breath. He's trying to catch his breath. He was probably holding his breath for so long. So he's, like, panting. But his shoulders look insanely wide because he's got this black shirt on, and it's just, like, clinging to him because it's wet. And he's panting. So he looks really good. But what is so perfect about this is that Jimin and Jungkook are watching, and Jimin immediately turns to look at Jungkook, whose jaw is just completely to the floor.
Oh my God, it totally is.
And Jungkook's eyes widen so much, like, he literally tilts his head in just complete awe, and as I would say, he is captivated. I had to throw that in at some point because it's so cute.
Oh my God. Look at Jung. It's no longer Jungshook. It's captivated.
Taevated. Oh my God, yes. Can we change it to that?
Yeah.
So anyways, Jimin ends up saying to Jungkook, his shoulders got wider. And then Jungkook says, he's buffed up. Like, this boy is so whipped.
So whipped. We all are.
I mean, we're all whipped for Tae, but he is so whipped.
Yeah.
And he would be turned on by V getting buff.
And what?
And yes. So I just love that moment. I think it's a romantic moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, his reaction is so pure.
Yeah. Like, it was, like, involuntary. The way he cocks his head to the side is just like, huh. It's like
like, holy shit. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so another romantic moment is from May 13th, 2016, and it's from the Sinchan fan sign. So this is the fan sign where Tae is wearing a panda hat, and Jungkook is wearing those super cute round glasses with, like, this bright red jacket on. And so they're all the BTS members are lined up at the front, and they're just kind of, like, answering questions and doing super cutesy things. And Jin and J-Hope are standing next to Jungkook on stage. And Tae eventually walks over, and he just pushes J-Hope. Like, he just pushes J-Hope off the stage. And J-Hope is being kind of obnoxious, But Jin holds on to J-Hope because he doesn't want J-Hope to fall. But then both J-Hope and Jin fall off the stage.
Oh my god, he just pushed them off the stage?
Yeah, like, you little shit.
What the fuck?
And so, of course, Jungkook thinks that this is funny, and Tae thinks it's funny. And so Tae just shuffles his way over to his boyfriend, and they stand next to each other. So Tae then, like, during this whole time, Jungkook is just staring at Taehyung. But there's particularly one moment where Tae says something into the mic, and then, like, he acts all cute with this panda hat on. And this is around the Save Me era, because V has that red hair. Like, I feel you, Jungkook. But so Jungkook, at first he giggles at Tae, but then he just stares at him. But not only is he staring, he, like, clearly bites his bottom lip. I mean, like, hard. Probably drawing some blood hard.
Oh, God. Taehyung, this is a fan sign.
This is a fan sign. Like, why are you looking at him like this?
Why are you so fucking loud?
So, like, Taekook is so freaking loud. It's ridiculous. But Tae ends up looking at him and kind of, like, looks serious for a second. Like, really? But then goes back to, like, acting cute and stuff. So it's just a really good, it's a good romantic moment. I mean, Jungkook, I love when Jungkook just looks super turned on and
like into it.
Because Taehyung is really the touchy one in the relationship. Like, Taehyung is always touching him. Okay, so another moment I actually cut down. I'm not going to talk about it all that much, but it's from the 2017 BTS Festa. And this is when Jungkook and Tae are clearly playing footsie under the table.
Oh my god. This is such a loud fucking Taekook moment.
It is. I mean, they're playing footsie under the table, and Jungkook actually, there's a point where he just sits back and has to take a breath. Like, he, like, sighs. Yeah. He's, like, out of breath because he's so turned on. Like, he can't focus. He's not answering any questions. V's not answering any questions. Everyone is, like, throwing their hands in the air, and Taekook is just not doing it. Like, they're too busy.
Just some context. I'm super familiar with this clip because, like, everyone knows I used to ship Yoonmin really, really hard. And during this part in Festa, they were talking about Tony Montana, which is, like, an August D featuring Jimin song, where Jimin, like, sang chorus and also, like, kind of rapped on the song with him. And so all the BTS members are talking about, like, the chorus, and they're like, Jimin, how did it go? And he, like, is like, oh, I don't remember, because he didn't want to do it. And then literally all the other BTS members start, like, chanting it hella loud and clapping their hands, like, moving their arms high in the air and clapping their hands and just being so loud. And it is drastic how, like, different it looks, because Jungkook and Taehyung are sitting across the table from each other, doing nothing, in the middle of all the other members all participating in this, like, chant chorus thing. They're, like, in their own world.
Like, Jungkook and Tae are usually quick to join in on those kind of things, but they're just distracted. They are in their own world.
Yeah. I mean, even all that noise didn't snap them back into it.
No. But if you guys find the time to watch this video, seriously look at Jungkook's face. It's just so priceless. So another kind of footsie moment is also from Bon Voyage 1. It's where they're sitting in a sauna and they're all wearing robes. There's also some Taekook footsie happening on that too. So another romantic moment is from February 22nd, 2017, and that's from the Gaon Chart Music Awards. So this could totally be a friend's moment, a friendship moment, but Tae grabs Jungkook's crotch, so I'm going to say it's romantic.
Yeah, I think that qualifies it as romantic.
It's really playful how he does it, but it's like, they're so close, he just, like, grabs his crotch. So Jungkook and V are sitting next to each other, and Jungkook is kind of annoying V by tapping his fingers behind V's back on his chair. And V pushes Jungkook's arm away and tells him to stop. But of course, he doesn't. So then V eventually just grabs Jungkook's crotch. And and then Jungkook is like, no, like, he's, like, pushing him away, but it gets Jungkook to stop, which is really, really funny.
Yeah.
But that's just a really cute moment. It could be a friendship moment, but I don't know. I think it's romantic. He's comfortable enough to grab his crotch, so.
Right, and they're, like, at the very least, they're, like, teasing, flirting kind of back and forth.
It could be flirty.
With Yeah, with Jungkook, like, not stopping and Taehyung resorting to that to get him to stop, like, you know.
Yeah. So this other moment is from the Let's Share the Heart advertisement from December 2016. So this is an advertisement that BTS did, and it looks kind of like a Christmas holiday video. So in this video, all the BTS members are dancing around this piano, but if you look right at Taehyung, you can see that Jungkook is behind him. And it's so, so sweet because Jungkook wraps his arms around Taehyung's waist. And it's so coupley and it's so romantic. It's just so, so sweet.
It's very soft.
It's so soft. And they're like in those fluffy white sweaters. And Tae has his hands up in the air. And they just look so coupley and happy. But again, it's an advertisement. So it's probably slightly scripted. However, it looks like a lot of them had to just improv scenes, like, oh, let's go around the piano and just, like, act like you're having a good time, I think is pretty much how scripted it was. And so Jungkook just did not hesitate, like, wraps his arms around Taehyung's waist, and it's so cute. Okay, so another really, really big moment is the Blood, Sweat, and Tears dance when they perform it live during the Wings tour. So there's actually 2 different performances where some serious weird shit happens. So the first performance is in Sydney, and that was on May 26, 2017. During this moment, it's the part where V is singing and all the members are on the ground, hip thrusting up. And during this choreography, Tae has to, like, stand facing Jungkook. So every time they perform Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Tae's got the best view in the house for Jungkook's hip thrusts. And Jungkook knows this. Like, he knows this. So for this particular performance in Sydney, Jungkook comes to sit up from after doing a hip thrust. And he looks Tae right in the eyes and just gives this big-ass smirk. Like, he knows he's affecting Taehyung with his hip thrust. And, like, this particular hip thrust is so aggressive.
Yeah.
So the other performance of Blood, Sweat, and Tears is July 1st of 2017. This one's a little bit more intense. So it's the same part of the choreography, except this time Jungkook literally points at Taehyung. And, like, Taehyung can see him. So he points at him. He then thrusts his hips up at Taehyung. And then Tae bashfully covers his eyes and smiles, just trying to focus on singing, but he's clearly affected by this.
For sure.
It's not like he's laughing because it's funny or whatever. Like, he's clearly giddy and bashful.
Yeah.
Romantic moment.
It totally is because, like, the point, I feel like the point changes it all.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Jungkook is like, he's pointing at Taehyung, like, this is for you, baby. And then he does that, that aggressive, like, really high thrust. Yeah, romantic moment.
Sometimes I think that Taehyung is more in love with Jungkook than Jungkook is in love with him. I don't know why. Like, I thought this for a really long time. But during this research, I'm just like, no, it's totally equal. Like, Jungkook really is into Taehyung. And, like, he doesn't just, like I said, Jungkook just doesn't outwardly show his emotions as much, I think. Whereas Taehyung always seems to be displaying how he's feeling, in my opinion. Sometimes he's kind of a hard book to read. But I see moments like this. It's like Jungkook is just trying to get V to be all flustered, and it's so cute.
Yeah, he's trying to get, like, a rise out of him. Literally.
Yes, dick joke. Okay. Okay. What's my problem here? Okay. So another romantic moment is from Bon Voyage, the first Bon Voyage, episode 1 or 2. So Taehyung is actually gone for the first day or two because he's filming Hwarang. So when he arrives, he meets with the other members, and Jungkook immediately goes over to him. And then they both wrap their arms around each other, and then Jungkook just, like, starts rubbing Tae's neck. Like, they've missed each other so much. Like, they've been apart for, like, a couple days, and they're acting like they haven't seen each other in, like, a year.
Aww.
And then shortly after they reunite, Jungkook immediately starts taking pictures of Taehyung. And it's
of course.
just so sweet.
Yeah. I love that.
I think that's a romantic moment. Like, I just, like, they can't even be separated for a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
So another Bon Voyage Season 1 moment is from Episode 6, and this is actually behind the scenes. This is iconic.
This is another moment that convinced me that Taekook is real.
Mm-hmm. So this video proved that Taekook does in fact sleep together. Even if they're in a super cramped camper sharing a twin-sized bed, they are still sleeping together. So this footage is so amazing because not only do we get to see that they're sleeping together, they're like cuddling. And even Jungkook, who isn't like super touchy all the time, he like wraps his arm around Taehyung and basically starts spooning him.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, then V ends up wrapping his arm around Jungkook later on. So they're just like moving back and forth, but almost the whole time, one of them has their arm wrapped around the other. They're like hugging each other while they sleep.
You know what that makes me think of? In the Vmon episode, when we were doing research for that, and we saw that clip where Taehyung is saying that he always sleeps like holding something, and in the clip he like has a pillow, but clearly if he like has to sleep in his room with RM, he can't be sleeping with Jungkook.
Yeah.
Who he would be holding.
Oh, yeah. He's used to it. And Jungkook has a habit of curling up when he sleeps. He, like, if you ever see him sleeping on a couch or whatever, he curls up real tight. Perfect cuddling position. But anyways, when this happens, though, when V ends up going and wrapping his arm around Jungkook, he totally kisses Jungkook's arm. Like, if you look closely, like, you can see him turn his head downward, kind of, like, towards the mattress. But Jungkook's arm is, like, right there, and he kind of just, like, quickly puts his head there and then moves it back. And it just looks so sweet. Like, it looks like if you were to just rearrange in the middle of the night and then just, like, kiss your husband or whatever. Just, like, just a little
Yeah,
smooch.
I do that. So, yeah.
Yeah. They're dating. They're real. Have I proven it yet? So another Bon Voyage 1 moment is Taehyung ends up writing V plus Jungkook love forever in the sand and then puts this huge ass heart around it.
Oh my god, could they be any louder?
They're so obnoxious. So lastly,
who's still doubting them?
So lastly, for romantic moments, I just have to mention it. So it's from the Wings Live trilogy. And it's on one of the features of the DVD where BTS provides commentary on their Wings tour performances. So in this video, Taehyung is sitting to the left of Jungkook. And Tae has his arm wrapped around him the entire time. Like, he goes out of his way to make sure that his arm stays there. Like, Jungkook is moving and doing all this shit, like, looking down to talk to Yoongi or Jimin or whatever. And Tae is, like, moving with him just to make sure that his arm stays there. But Tae also twists Jungkook's nipple, and he, like, caresses Jungkook's inner arm. I mean, it's so coupley. And Jungkook doesn't do anything. Like, Jungkook just takes it.
Just no problem here. No issue.
Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to jealous moments because these are some of my favorite too. So Jungkook has a very distinct jealous face. Jungkook does this jealous expression where he, like, pushes his tongue to the inside of his cheek. And you can see his tongue, like, pressed against his cheek. And he does it almost all the time, and usually just with Taehyung. Like, it's kind of
It's like a typical jealous face. Like, this is the face that you see people make in movies when they're like, oh, are you fucking kidding? Like, you're really doing that right now?
like they're gonna beat someone up.
Yeah. Like, upset, annoyed. Yeah. Jealous. Just, yeah.
So this moment I'm gonna talk about first. I don't know if it's really a jealous moment, but it's definitely an iconic Taekook fight kind of moment. So it's during the No era, and they're on stage with other K-pop performers, and Jungkook just looks sad, like noticeably sad. And it was from a really long time ago, so Jungkook was super young and maybe wasn't as good at concealing his emotions as he is now.
Right.
Probably has some stronger emotions. So Jungkook is like back hugging Jimin while he's resting his chin on his shoulder, and he just looks so sad. And Taehyung is just dancing next to him while this is happening, and he's smiling and being silly, and Yoongi has his arm wrapped around Taehyung. So then Tae looks over at Jungkook, and his smile immediately leaves his face. He looks almost kind of annoyed or angry, and then he looks straight ahead back at the audience and just, like, looks pissed off, kind of. And then once Tae looks away, Jungkook looks over at Yoongi, he sighs, and then he tries to be discreet, but he's being totally fucking obvious. Jungkook puts his hands behind his back, behind his head, and he's got his elbows sticking out to the side, kind of like what you would do if you were, like, lying back to, like, cushion your head.
Relax, yeah.
So he then brings his elbows forward, like, who does this? And then he slightly taps Tae on the shoulder. And Tae quickly reacts to this, and he looks back at him. And then Jungkook doesn't even look at him. Like, it's almost like he's fearful to look Tae in the eyes.
It's like a really timid way, I feel like, of touching somebody. It's because he is choosing not to tap him with, like, his hand.
Yeah.
He's like, I am really thinking about, do I want to get into this? Do I want to, try to get this person's attention? And it's almost like a gentle nudge that he's like, like he's intimidated or, like, just trying to, like, you can, it's like emulates his feelings, his emotions at that time, which is just, like, sad or, like, really thinking about something.
Yeah. I think, like, Taehyung got mad at him, but no one knows what happened. And I think this is Jungkook trying to, like, say him sorry, or I don't know.
Or he just can't put his emotions to the side, even though they are on stage, because he's still young and he doesn't have experience with doing that. And how hard would that be? Like... And if Taehyung, if it was Taehyung being mad at Jungkook, it would be easier for Taehyung to be able to act like nothing was really affecting him or really wrong, And I could see that that's why Yoongi would be, like, all over Taehyung to, like, be I'm your support right now, something like that.
Yeah, no, totally. So what ends up happening is after he kind of taps him, really Taehyung doesn't react to this. Like, he just looks even more angry and just looks back in the audience. And so Yoongi kind of is like, this needs to end. And Yoongi wraps his other arm around Taehyung and pushes Jungkook's elbow off of Taehyung's shoulder.
Damn.
Yeah. So... Jungkook then even looks more upset and even more bothered, so that he's driven to the point where he walks away. Like, he walks all the way to the other end of the BTS line next to J-Hope.
Oh, Cookie.
It's so sad. And J-Hope sees Cookie, and he just gives him the most understanding look and then wraps him in his arms, and he just tries to comfort him.
Of course it's J-Hope.
Yeah, it's just one of the biggest BTS mysteries. Like, no one knows what happened here, but it's just so sad. It's not really a jealous moment, but there's definitely something going on between these two.
Yeah, something happened, and it seems like, from my perspective, on Jungkook's face, he seems very worried, as if, like, it's like when you're in a fight with someone who's very close to you, you obviously just, you can't think about anything else. You just want to resolve it, and, like, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. So here's an actual jealous Taekook moment. So this was from January 1st, 2017. It's a Bantan bomb, and it's a message to ARMY as Blood, Sweat, and Tears' last day. So this is a total Jungkook jealousy moment. So in this video, Jimin and Jungkook go to interview V about Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And if you're looking at the screen, Jimin sits to the right of V and Jungkook sits to the left of V. And during the interview, V talks about how Jimin played this dangerous role for Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And Jimin then responds to this comment by taking his arm and wrapping it around V's neck. And then he says, V came out in a really handsome way. So while all of this weird kind of flirting stuff is happening, Jungkook laughs in the most snarky, sarcastic way. Like, are you really doing this?
Like a scoff.
Yeah, it's a total scoff.
He, like, looks away, like, in the opposite direction of where, like, the camera and Taehyung and Jimin are, and he scoffs. Yeah.
And then he does his crazy, jealous signature tongue thing. And then he literally puffs his chest like he's gonna fight a bitch. Like, he puffs his chest out.
Literal tongue in cheek, and then puffs his chest.
Oh, it's such a jealous moment. Such a jealous moment.
I mean, it's not, this is not nothing that we're looking at. This is just natural human body language and how humans react when, like, something ticks them off. And you can tell from his face and from the context of the situation, it's just pure jealousy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so another jealous moment is from the comeback for Love Yourself Hurt. This one's a really small one. So there's a recording shown to the audience of Jungkook, and it's Jungkook asking Taehyung, Park Bo-gum or me, and Park Bo-gum is one of Taehyung's really good friends. Mm-hmm. But it's just so cute because Jungkook is just like, looks so sad and like, Park Bo-gum or me, baby, like, who are you gonna pick? And so it's just kind of a cute Jungkook jealousy moment. And then Taehyung answers in the best way possible. He says, Jungkookia, of course. Like, of course, Jungkook. That's a cute one. So another jealous moment is from season 1 of Celebrity Bromance. So Taehyung was actually on the first season of Celebrity Bromance with Kim Min-jae, who is one of his really close friends. And so this is an NBC show. So at the end of one of the episodes, Tae goes into this convenience store to get some extra food or utensils while his friend is, like, preparing him a surprise birthday cake. Mm-hmm. But while this happens, of course, jealous, needy Jungkook calls Tae, asking him when he'll be home. And Tae ends up responding 3 a.m.
And Jungkook was sad because he would have to go 80% of the night without his boyfriend.
Yeah.
For sure.
So there's another jealous moment where, this is actually the last one I have. So it's Jungkook's V Live, and this is kind of a Taehyung jealous moment, which is interesting. So at the end of Jungkook's V Live, and this one has Jimin and Taehyung both come in it. Mm-hmm. And so at the end of Jungkook's V Live, Taehyung and Jimin kind of join in, just making small appearances. Jimin is, like, in a white robe, which is great. And then Taehyung is in those legendary blue and white striped PJs, like those silk PJs.
Yes,
he wears them
classy
all the time.
Man.
He's so classy. He loves those. So V at the very end, he says, hey, Jungkook, when are you going to stop that? And Jungkook responds, like he's referring to the video. And Jungkook says, in a bit, why? And then V says, call me when you're done. And then Jungkook responds saying why for Overwatch. And then Taehyung says no. And then Jungkook says, then what? But then he, like, changes the topic. Like, he totally changes the topic. Like, he answered his own question. Mm-hmm. They goof around a little bit more. So as the video really does come to its final end, Taehyung straight up says, Jungkook, stop it now. Like, stop the video. And Jungkook says, stop it. Why? Why tell me to turn it off? I'm on air. And then V says, in this super sexy, deep, suggestive voice, he says, to have some private conversation. Jungkook then immediately looks to see how long the V Live has gone on, and then he, like, ends it. Like, he, like, doesn't question this at all. He doesn't say anything to V saying to have some private conversation. Like, he does not hesitate to look at how long he's been on. He's content with how long he's been on, and he turns it off. But on top of this, before he turns it off, Jimin makes these, like, kissy noises at the camera, like,
Now, I thought that was just Jimin being cute for, like, a really cute sign-off, you know?
I don't know, maybe.
I will say that when Taehyung says to have some private conversation, it's like he's at the side of the room, like standing at the door about to leave. He says it from a distance, like it wasn't necessarily supposed to be heard. And his voice is so deep that it doesn't carry super far like that. Yeah. So it does kind of sound like maybe it wasn't for the broadcast, you know? So I could definitely see that being like a, I don't know, like a booty call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's not a jealous moment, but it's like, okay, it's late at night and V's having Jungkook over to his room.
Yeah. He's jealous of all the army on V Live with his boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not going to play video games. They're going to have a private conversation.
In the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm. We all know how that goes. Okay, so let's get into friendship moments, because these are some really great moments too. Don't hate on me because some of the two like almost kiss Taekook moments I ended up putting in friendship moments purely because they were games.
Okay.
They were games.
Okay, if they're
skits.
a game, or a skit or something.
But I'm going to mention them because if I didn't, I feel like I would be like shunned. So
from the Taekook community.
From the Taekook community, yeah. So there's this like Japanese game where they all line up in order of age. And they have to act like they're kissing the member next to them. Like, they have to attempt to kiss the member next to them without actually kissing them. But kind of the fun part of the game is with each round, as each member goes on to the next one, the kiss has to intensify more from the kiss prior to them.
I love this game. It's so fun.
Yeah. So Taehyung is the last one to go, meaning he has to have the most intense attempt to kissing Jungkook, who's the youngest member. So he's the last in line. He kind of laughs too much. Like, he fails at his first attempt, and he has to retry it. He then collects himself, and he marches himself over to Jungkook. He grabs the back of Jungkook's head. He kind of pulls his head down, and then he leans in and presses his forehead up against Jungkook. To me, it's just a friendship moment. I mean, you could take it as a romantic moment because Jungkook gets very, very flustered.
And clearly Taehyung did too, because he started laughing like he couldn't even like really control himself, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's a silly game. So
yeah, it is a silly game.
It was like they were almost like having fun together in anticipation of Taehyung having to do this very public thing that probably for them is usually like private.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's also another kind of almost kiss moment. And I also just put it under friendship. I think this is like the epitome of fan service, in my opinion. I do think that Taekook is kind of fan serviced because it is like one of the biggest ships. But there's a lot of behind the scenes Taekook stuff that you can tell isn't fan service. Like some of the moments I just mentioned before, like clearly like there's no way that this was fan service. Like it was kind of hidden. It wasn't totally put out there. But this one was. So this is during the Boy in Love era, and they do a skit. And it's the skit where Taehyung acts like he's going in to kiss Jungkook, and he grabs the back of his head, and they get super close to kissing. And Jungkook is, like, looking into Taehyung's eyes, and Tae is just staring, like, longingly at Jungkook's lips. Like, it's like we all want them to kiss so badly. Like, we just want to push their heads together and just kiss already, okay? We know it's happened.
Just go public.
Just go public. Okay. So another friendship moment, and this is like also it can be taken as a romantic moment. It's a Bantam Bum where Jungkook is sleeping on a blue mat in a gym.
Oh my God, I love this.
Yeah, and he's in a blue hoodie. I think the mat is blue.
Yeah.
But his hoodie is definitely blue. While he's napping, V is being a total little shit, and he kicks this massive yoga ball at Jungkook. And Jungkook wakes up real abruptly, and he promptly gets onto his feet, and he chases Tae out the door, like, at full speed. He's going so fast. Like, he is pissed. It's just so funny because he's so pissed, and he's so angry. But then within, like, a couple of minutes, Taehyung is curled up next to him with his arm wrapped around Jungkook's neck, and they're just snuggling and sleeping together.
Oh yeah, like first Taehyung wakes him up, and Jungkook chases him or chases Taehyung, and it's like a total brothers moment, like how siblings might play with each other or tease each other, but then to see both of them then laying on the mat and straight up cuddling, like arms around each other, heads tucked into necks, like very sweet looking. Yeah, it could definitely be romantic and friendship kind of wrapped up in the same little thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And like with BTS, like you can see a lot of members like kind of briefly sleep on each other, kind of here and there, like cuddle. But there's nothing like Taekook. Like they sleep together. Okay, so another friendship moment is from Bon Voyage Season 2. This is one of my all-time favorite friendship Taekook moments.
Yes.
Like, it's just the best. It's so funny. It makes me crack up every time I watch it. So, all the members go to a luau because they're in Hawaii. And so they go to a luau, and Taehyung is just being a goober. Like, he's just dancing along to, like, this Hawaiian music, like, huh, like he's just having a really good time.
Taehyung being Taehyung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, he like just throws his arm out to the side a little too far, and he hits his drink, and it spills onto Jungkook's lap. So after Tae spills his drink on Jungkook, he then gets all philosophical, and he teaches Jungkook some weird life lesson, like as he wipes Jungkook's crotch. And like he doesn't even say sorry. No. Like he's just like trying to teach him like this is how life is.
Sometimes these things happen.
Like it doesn't even make sense what he's saying. And Jungkook
He's literally just like, I'm not going to take responsibility from me hitting my drink onto your lap because I'm Taehyung and sometimes I'm a little shit. You know what that makes me think of? That makes me think of when Taehyung like kind of sat in on Eat Jin and like wiped like food on Jin's sleeve and shit, and then he just laughs and smiles.
But then he laughs because he knows he did it.
Because he's being a little shit.
Yeah, he's so funny. But I mean, I think he actually is trying to give Jungkook this life lesson. But what's so funny is that Jungkook doesn't even react. Like, Jungkook is just staring at him. Like, this has happened probably hundreds of times. And he's just staring at him, like, kind of smiling, kind of, like, knowingly and just used to it while he's listening to Taehyung give him this, like, elder lesson, and it's just funny. And then Jungkook eventually is like, okay, whatever. And then Taehyung turns around to like go back to listen to the luau, and then Jungkook hits him and he's like, say you're sorry, like at least say you're sorry. And
he's like, no, that's why I was giving you the life lesson, so I didn't have to say sorry.
It's just so funny. It's just so cute. I think it's a really cute like view into their friendship. Okay, so another friendship moment is from Burn the Stage, episode 3, and it's titled Give Me a Smile. And so this is the episode where Jungkook shares how all the members have impacted him in a positive way.
Oh, I love this moment.
But what he says about V is so sweet. So Jungkook says, I used to be very introverted, but V helped me break out of it. I couldn't even wash myself or take my clothes off in front of them. Like, yes, like, can we all just take a moment to reflect on how far these two have come as friends? Like, Taehyung really brought Jungkook out of his shell and made him feel comfortable in his own skin. Like, I feel like Jungkook will forever be grateful that V, like, brought him that he can just be silly and goofy. And I think he was just kind of a shy kid, and he was being exposed to this huge world, but he had Taehyung, this like super goofy guy who just ended up being his best friend and made him feel like, oh, I can be silly with these older youngs. Like I can.
Yeah, because how hard would it be to be so young and to be debuting in this, you know, pop group, and all of a sudden BTS started getting super popular and being thrust into the limelight as this like golden maknae, but then, you know, you're still a young person, and to be, you know, naturally introverted and to feel like you need to find some sort of connection with the older members of the group so that all of you can be close, like that had to be hard. It had to
been so hard.
I feel like every introvert has that extrovert friend that is just like, here, come over here. I'm gonna, you know, help you feel comfortable in these situations. So yeah, I feel like
absolutely.
Yeah. But I also think that's kind of our friendship too.
Oh,
like,
yeah, it is.
You, I remember, were always very good with like helping me, like pull me out of my shell and like inviting me out to do things and making me feel included. So,
but I feel like what was great about having you as a friend too is like we could just talk forever, and like there were nights where I would probably want to go out and go to a party or whatnot, but then I would hang out with you and we would just sit and talk and just have a great time too with that. Like, that. Yes, like Taekook.
Yes. We are Taekook. No, we're V-men.
Yeah, we are V-men. Okay.
But that, I mean, we can understand this friendship dynamic to bring it back, that it's kind of this introvert, extrovert, where it's a good balance between personalities. Yeah.
I think, that's where I partly think that Jungkook is just mesmerized by V. Like, V's this very eccentric kind of guy.
Oh, yeah. He's not afraid of anything.
No, yeah. And so I think Jungkook just really admires that. Yeah, for sure. And I think V is just absolutely in love with Jungkook, too. Like, I think V thinks Jungkook is so cute.
Oh, completely enamored. And now he just thinks that he's, like, super hot.
Well, yeah, no. They both think that they're hot, because they both are. This is a hot ship.
Literally, it so is.
Like, they're so sexy. They are, like, Jungkook is... Frick, man.
Shit. This entire time that we've been recording this episode, like, normally I get bias wrecked by Taehyung all the time, but the amount that we've been talking about Jungkook today, I'm like, I've been so bias wrecked by him lately, especially that clip from the behind the scenes of Fake Love when they're all in the fucking, like, black turtlenecks, black pants.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Jungkook is
huge.
He's huge. He's standing apart. I'm just like, oh my God, when did this happen, you baby boy? Now he's like this big. He's like, Yoongi looked so small next to him.
Taehyung looks tiny too.
Oh my God. Like,
and Taehyung is not a tiny guy.
No, he's not. So I'm just like, Jungkook, you're fucking huge. Like, I'm scared. And also, why are you, like, he's bias wrecking me so hard. So this episode has honestly been, like, hard to record.
Okay, one last little side note, but anytime I see how hot Jungkook looks, I just immediately am like, Taehyung, you lucky man.
You damn lucky man.
When I watched Singularity, I was like, Jungkook, you okay? Like,
deceased.
They're both just so hot.
Oh, you know that Jungkook was most definitely on the set when Singularity was being recorded. I'm sure all of BTS was. And I'm sure he was just enthralled.
Oh, I'm sure. Captivated.
Captivated.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So keep going along with our friendship moments. So...
We're still not done.
Yeah, we're not. No. Sorry, guys. Or you're welcome. But so there's the BTS concert in Nanjing. And this was from, I believe, July 2nd, 2016. Mm-hmm. And it's during the Attack on Bantan performance. This is iconic again. There's this famous footage during this performance where Tae piggybacks onto Jungkook for 1 minute and 45 seconds.
Oh my God.
It's just one of the cutest Taekook moments. Like, there's such cute pictures from it. And Tae just, like, rests his chin on Jungkook's upper back, and he's grinning ear to ear, and Jungkook is just laughing and smiling.
Yes, it's
while
so
he's
cute.
Like, Tae is obviously on his back for longer than he needs to be. And Jungkook, I think, is finding it funny because he knows that Tae's going to stay there for as long as he wants. And Jungkook has no idea how long this is going to last, but he can't help but just smile and be like, yeah, this is going to be forever. But I'll just go on with
now.
it. Like, he just loves it. Like, he just thinks it's funny.
Oh, they both have huge smiles on their face. It is just so cute, so sweet.
Some of the cutest pictures of them. Like, they just look so happy. So happy.
Yes, I love them.
Mm-hmm. So another moment is from the Santiago, Chile Wings Tour concert. Mm-hmm. And this was during the Fire performance. And so from Burn the Stage, we found out that this is the performance where Jungkook was actually sick and ended up performing anyways. Mm-hmm. So during this performance, we see that every BTS member is kind of watching Jungkook just like a hawk, Taehyung especially. Mm-hmm. So for all of you Taekook shippers, before Burn the Stage, I remember seeing this footage and thinking, oh my God, like Taehyung loves Jungkook, like he's just staring at him, but I had no idea that Jungkook was sick. Mm-hmm. And so we were all like, oh my gosh, look at this Taekook moment.
What's this moment? Yeah.
Yeah, so at the very end of the performance of Fire, Taehyung comes up to the front and he makes this I love you sign. Like, it's like the sign language for I love you.
Yeah.
And he kind of discreetly puts it behind his back. And Jungkook is standing right behind him. So he knows that Jungkook can see this. So all of us Taekook shippers, before we knew that he was sick, we were like, oh my God, he's saying I love you on stage to Jungkook. Like, oh my goodness. But in reality, I'm going to say this is a friendship moment because Jungkook was so, like, he was not feeling well at all. And Taehyung just does this I love you sign. And then Jungkook taps it. Just kind of like, thank you. Or like he acknowledges that Taehyung is like saying I love you.
Yeah.
Even though Jungkook just did this crazy intense choreography. Like, man.
Like, Jungkook had literally just been, like, passed out, exhausted backstage, and he decided, you know, I feel like all the other members would have been fine if he wouldn't have finished the concert, but Jungkook was like, I can do it. I'm going to finish the concert. And he goes out.
He did that.
I cannot believe it either. Like, the determination on this person to deliver, like, an amazing performance to ARMY by putting his own health on the line is just insane. I feel like if any ARMY could have been like, no, lay down, don't worry about us. But the fact that he did it is just so amazing. And then I feel like Taehyung, obviously all of the members were insanely worried about Jungkook.
Yeah, they were all watching him.
Yeah, and so Taehyung, I'm sure he had all of these emotions, all of these feelings and worries about Jungkook in that moment. And so for him, he was just like, what's the small thing that I can do in support of him after, you know, just dancing to Fire, you know, to try to just be like, what you're doing right now is amazing and I love you and I support you, is just doing that little I love you hand sign. So sweet.
And then for Jungkook to acknowledge it and just tap it. Oh, yeah. So cute. Best friends.
Yeah. Friends.
Okay, so another friendship moment is the V Live from BTS Live in Osaka. Mm-hmm. So this is actually Taehyung's V Live, and he's wearing this cute horizontal striped red sweater. And he ends up asking ARMY, what should I do? What should I do for this V Live? And someone says, attack the next door. In which V says, I don't even know their room numbers. Like, he doesn't know where the other BTS members are staying. So he follows up by saying, should I go to Jungkook? Of course, I'm sure everyone was like, yes. Like, totally go to Jungkook's room. So in previous interviews with BTS, we know that Jungkook is actually a terrible texter, and he's really bad about replying to text messages. But I swear, within half a second, like not even half a second, Jungkook responds to Tae saying 1112. Like, that's his room number. Like, it's so quick. Like, it is crazy quick. So Tae immediately jumps up, like he gets super excited. He immediately jumps up. You know how like when you text like someone you're crushing on and you're texting them and people can see that you're smiling and they're like, who are you texting?
Yeah.
That is Tae. Like Tae like looks so giddy and he's just smiling at his phone like, oh, Jungkook, oh, okay. So he grabs the camera. He literally skips. Like, he skips out of his room. Like, he's so happy.
Bethany, this is a romantic moment. This is not a friendship moment.
He skips to Jungkook's room. And Jungkook yells out, hold on, I'm not wearing clothes.
Romantic moment. Are you kidding? Taehyung texted, what room are you staying in? He immediately replied, 1112 or 1112.
1112.
And Jungkook is naked waiting for him? Bitch.
Yeah. So Jungkook, he says, I'm not wearing clothes. And then Tae then makes this like really silly, suggestive face, and he says, Jungkookia isn't wearing clothes. Like, oh, he's raising his eyebrows, and he's
because you just booty called him.
Yeah. So then he enters the room, and Jungkook is still trying to finish tying his robe. And Tae says, did you just untie that? Like, are you undressing now? But he says this as he lifts the bottom part of Jungkook's robe. Like, he's just exposing the back of Jungkook's legs for all of ARMY.
Taehyung, stop.
It's the best.
Literally, Jungkook was in no clothes or next to no clothes walking to the door and grabbed the closest thing to cover himself up, the robe hanging in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, that is what happened.
Yeah. We now know that Jungkook responded to Taehyung completely naked, which is a sight. So anyways, the rest of this V Live is actually really, really sweet. They're just singing together. They're serenading ARMY.
I love it.
But they're pretty much serenading each other. Like, they're looking into each other's eyes, and V's being really goofy, and Jungkook can't help but to kind of smile, but be like, you're weird. Like, honestly, it's a romantic moment. It really is.
I was going to say, why is this under friendship moment? But honestly, so many of their moments cross between romantic and friendship. That's just what Taekook is.
Yeah.
Like, those V Live moments when they're, like, singing together, it's definitely a friendship moment and very sweet. And, of course, like, it's cute that it's Jungkook that Taehyung texts and everything. But within that whole clip, there's a fuck ton of romantic stuff, like boyfriend stuff. So,
Yeah. Okay, so last for friendship moments, there's another BTS live in Osaka, and it's from a couple years ago. It's actually from quite a bit ago, and this is total friendship moment, but it could also be romantic. But it starts off with Jungkook, Jimin, and J-Hope, and they're all in this, like, dressing room. And eventually everyone leaves. And Jungkook goes over to bother Tae, who's actually sleeping on the set of, like, of these two chairs. And it's so cute because Jungkook, like, slithers his head onto Tae's chest and belly. And he's just trying to get him to wake up. Like, he's saying, like, Tae, why are you not responding?
Aww.
And it's because he's sleeping, but it's just really, really cute. And Jungkook just looks so damn happy. Like, he's, like, laying his head on Tae's chest, and he's got the camera, like, facing on both of them. And he just has this huge grin on his face. Like, he just looks so happy.
Yeah.
But anyways, eventually, Tae wakes up. And then it goes to, like, the two of them singing this, like, sentimental song. And, like, V is eating ice cream. Like, it's so, so cute. And eventually they start singing some super hype song. And they just start jumping up and down like crazy. And it's just super, super cute. And they're just being really good friends hanging out.
Yeah, definitely friendship. But also there's some romantic stuff. Because Jungkook's face is just pure content.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is his happy place. Yeah.
So let's go into some really quick recent moments. I'm just going to have to sum them up really, really quick for you all because there's just so many moments. But let's talk about the most recent one. Let's talk about how Jimin exposed Taekook again.
You fucking exposer.
Yeah, he really is.
Expose him. Okay.
Apparently, V likes to watch Jungkook work out shirtless.
Okay.
While he also moans and complains about how chubby he is. But he's not that chubby, but he thinks he is.
Oh, I love him.
Cute. Also, we found out that V is learning piano from Jungkook.
V is learning piano from Jungkook. This is important. Okay.
This is important because we talked about this in our Sugar Cookie episode. Do you remember that?
We talked about Jungkook learning piano possibly from Yoongi.
But we didn't have any confirmation of it.
At all. But now we know for sure that Jungkook at least knows piano well enough to teach Taehyung, his best friend, boyfriend. Why would, I mean, like, if Yoongi is the piano person, why would Yoongi not be teaching Taehyung piano? You know, I mean, maybe he doesn't have time because he does a lot of the producing on the album, and Jungkook isn't as involved, although he is still fairly involved in making albums and stuff. But maybe Yoongi doesn't have the time for it, so you could say it's that, but you could also say boyfriends.
Boyfriends. That's what I'm gonna say. So another recent moment, and it's not really that recent, but it's during the comeback for Love Yourself Her. The BTS members, they were all kind of giving shit to Tae for having so many ties, and then for hanging them on, like, this grandpa tie hanger. And how Taehyung ends up responding to this is he looks right at Jungkook, and he straight up says, "Shall I only wear a tie to bed?" Like, what? Like, they're all giving him shit for this, but he decides to turn. Like, he's facing the other members, and he turns to look at Jungkook and just says, "Shall I only wear a tie to bed?" Like,
kinky.
Who's the only one gonna be caring what he wears to bed?
Kinky.
So another really, really great moment that happened recently was the Run episode where they went to the amusement park, the Disney Lotto, whatever, where they're on that, like, swinging ride, I guess, and they're sitting at the very top. And Jungkook and Tae are sitting next to each other, and they both only have, like, well, I think V might have both his arms up. I don't really know. But their arms and, like, their hands are touching, and you can see, like, V wraps his hand around Jungkook's hand and, like, squeezes it. Like, it's so cute.
Yeah.
So then another recent moment was actually like the DNA performance that they did for the American Music Awards, the AMAs. So there's like this hidden camera. I don't know whose camera it is, but all the members are kind of like going down this staircase. And this is so such a romantic moment. Such a romantic
First
moment.
of all, you should premise it with saying that this is not like something put out by Big Hit or affiliated with BTS.
It's like a hidden camera.
Yeah, this is like they did not know that a camera was on them at this time at all in any way.
No, absolutely not. So that's really just like a big sign that this isn't fan service. Like this happened. Mm-hmm. So V is actually ahead of Jungkook. Mm-hmm. And Jungkook like quickly goes down the stairs to catch up to V. And he slows down once he gets to V. And you can see ever so slightly, but it is there. Jungkook wraps his hand and like around V's arm and then like goes in to hold his hand. Like they're walking casually down the stairs and Jungkook goes to hold hands with V. Like, oh my god, boyfriends. Like, guys, if I have not proven it to you already, these boys are real. Like, maybe they're not boyfriends, I don't know, but they've had to have crossed the line at some point.
Yeah, especially because in that clip, like Jungkook kind of has to weave through other people and get people out of his way to be able to catch up to Taehyung. And yeah, they definitely do. Like there is this quick little clip of like their hands kind of like intertwining.
So real quickly, as I conclude this, there's also the Monster skit that was recent where Jungkook accidentally hits Tae's mouthpiece. And Taehyung seeks comfort from Jin, but Jungkook immediately grabs him and pulls him away. And he holds Taehyung and just back hugs him until he stops fake crying and he calms down. Like, he calms down so quickly with Jungkook just hugging him from behind. Like, it's so sweet.
He's like, yes, this is what I wanted.
Mm-hmm. And then also from Fan Cafe, we found out that Yeontan was sleeping with Jungkook.
Of course.
And Taehyung posted on Fan Cafe saying that he didn't want to wake up Jungkook or Yeontan because it was just too cute that they were sleeping together.
Mm-hmm. In Taehyung's bed, probably.
Probably.
Or in their shared bed, since they sleep in the same room now. Because look, okay.
Let's talk about it.
Let's just talk about it real quick because we know that 3 members changed up rooms. And we know that those 3 members are Namjoon, Taehyung, and Jungkook. Previously, Namjoon and Taehyung were roommates and Jungkook had this tiny little room. I've always thought that it would make sense, Namjoon being like the leader and him being like very busy with like album production and everything, for him to have his own room.
Yeah. He deserves his own room.
Yeah, he totally does.
And not a closet.
No, and not a closet like Jungkook had. So if we know that those are the only 3 members that changed up their room situation, do you really think that it would change to Taehyung living by himself and Namjoon and Jungkook rooming together? Or would it be Namjoon living by himself and Taehyung and Jungkook rooming together?
Obviously the second option.
Obviously. It's the only one that makes sense.
I know. Like, why would Taehyung have his own room? No.
There's no reason.
I mean, maybe he's kind of impossible to be a roommate with. I don't know, but
you would think, okay, so like we know that he would come in really, really late, you know, like at 5 a.m. or something, probably because he spent the whole night with Jungkook. So,
yeah,
you know, maybe Namjoon is just kind of like, you guys, just here, let me have my own space. Let's solve this issue once and for all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
So there you go.
So the last thing I want to say is for the Billboard Music Awards, their recent performance, we found out that Taehyung's like photo and his lock screen is actually Jungkook.
And when you sent me a picture of this supposed lock screen, and I was like, I was like, you're being a crazy Taekook shipper. I don't know what you're talking. I don't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. But then you sent me like the video, the fan cam, like on Instagram, where you can see Taehyung like is holding his phone. He gets some notification, so his phone lights up. And right as his phone lights up, before he opens up, like unlocks the phone to go to the text or whatever, you can see his whole lock screen, and it 100% is just Jungkook from like...
It's 100% Jungkook.
Yeah, it's from like a photo shoot. And there was like the picture of which Jungkook picture it was next to it. And we don't have, there's not the link to it here. I don't have it in front of me, but like find it, because I feel like that is super telling that Taekook is real also.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that is all I have for our Taekook episode. I know there are so many more moments that happen between them, and I wish I could mention all of them because all of them are so amazing. Like especially run episodes. Like run episodes, there are so many Taekook moments that are super justifiable to why Taekook might actually be real. But this is really some of the biggest things that I just wanted to put into this, hour and a half episode. It's just, you know what? This has been an episode that's been waited for so long, and it's been highly anticipated. So we're just going to make this one of our longer episodes.
Yes, and it's for you guys for getting us to 100 freaking reviews on iTunes, which is so amazing. So
yeah, like we're just this really tiny podcast that is from Missouri, and we're just two girls who just decided to up and make a podcast. Like we didn't get help from really anyone. We were just like, let's
try to figure it out. Yeah.
We've been figuring it out as we've gone.
And we're so grateful for every single person who listens, anybody who downloads, anybody who's written a review for us on iTunes. It is so sweet. It is not lost on us. We're just like,
oh, no.
Like you said, we're just two girls from Missouri, and we just want to fucking fangirl about BTS and learn about BTS and, talk about them all the time.
And all of your guys' kind words, all of your amazing reviews, your comments, your messages, your emails, all of it. Like, it's so motivating.
Truly.
To have us keep putting out episodes every week.
Yeah.
And we love doing it. It is a good amount of work, but we love it so much. We love BTS so much, and we just are so motivated to keep giving you guys stuff. And we enjoy listening to the podcast and making it and researching. So thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it is so fun every week to do it. I feel like we learn about it. And yeah, we are total narcissists, and we listen to like the finished product because it's honestly...
We get in our cars and we're like, oh my God, we're so funny.
Because
we're really not that funny, but we find ourselves funny, which is terrible.
Because this is our outlet for our obsession, because otherwise every single fucking person we meet on the street, we'd be like, do you know BTS? Let me tell you all about them. They're changing the world. But
really though.
But instead we have this podcast.
How do you not love them? How do you not know about them?
I know. Literally my everyday. But so really this is all for you guys. Next time we hit another big review milestone, I don't know if it'll be 150 episodes or maybe 150 reviews or maybe 200 reviews, but we'll definitely do a listener voted episode. And
send suggestions our way so we kind of know.
Yeah, email us a suggestion with review episode in the title of the email, and we will make a list of all of the suggestions, and then we'll have you guys vote on which ones you want us to talk about.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. So if you liked this episode, and if you have listened and like any of our other episodes, of course we would love if you would drop us a review on iTunes, and then you can always contact us through our email at standingbtspodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us, DM with us, interact with us on Twitter at standingbtspod. You can like our Facebook page, Standing BTS, and you can follow our pre-existing fangirl Instagram account at Sugar-Free Cookie Jams, and you can find links for all of that in the description.
Thanks for listening, and thanks for standing BTS.